Welcome back to Tuesday's Loose Women. I'm Andrea McLean, and joining me on today's Loose lineup are Carol McGiffin, Colleen Nolan and Jane McDonald. Now, it seems that ice skating is becoming more popular than ever, and in the run-up to Christmas, everyone is just rushing to the rinks. But do you lot delight in the joys of skating, Colleen?
No, Andrea. Do you know something? In my younger days, I used to go to beat night every Sunday at the ice rink.
Beat night?
I used to live for it. You get all dressed up with your skates on, and you know it was great.
Did you have your own skates?
They had a DJ, you see. It wasn't just a normal like organ music. It was proper DJ.
Dancing.
Yeah, called beat night. Get it?
And did you have your own skates and everything?
Well, I didn't for a while, but I progressed to my own skates. Ooh. But then I was told that because they were white, my skates, so they had to take my skates to the back and beat them up a bit because you didn't go out with brand new white skates, so you got, you know.
Why? You get picked on?
Yeah, you got really picked on.
Having new skates?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was great because, you know, when you met a boy, you had to hold his hand to go skating around.
And could you do it? Could you go backwards and all that thing?
No, I could skate round. I could skate forwards quite fast, but I was never
only
good
in
the
one
backwards.
direction.
Yeah, and it just they had a barrier for me to like crash into and stop. I couldn't do that old skidding thing.
Okay,
you know, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
They never had it when I was growing up. In Maidstone, they had used to go up the YMCA and do roller skating, but they didn't even have boots. They used to just have those bits of old metal with old laces over the top. That's how tragic it was.
Oh my God.
They used to fall over all the time.
Back to pre-war again.
It almost was. But I wouldn't do ice skating. There's a lovely ice rink right near where I live. It's tennis courts in the summer and it's an ice rink in the winter. And it's really lovely, and I love watching people do it, but
especially when they're good. When they're good,
when they're good, it's
amazing.
brilliant to watch. But Joan Collins once said the most ageing thing you can do is fall over and break a bone, because then you'll have to have a Zimmer frame and you'll look really old. So I figure that I'm just not going on the ice, because it's so easy to fall over and break a bone.
I must admit, as a teenager, I loved roller skating. Roller skating was my thing, and I even, similar to you with the ice skating, I built up to a pair of white little roller skates with a big stopper on the end. And I used to spend hours after school practising roller skating. So I actually was asked to do Dancing on Ice on the first series, and I thought, well, I've roller skated. You know, what's the difference? Well, the difference is it's on ice.
Yeah.
Duh. It's really hard.
But you were good.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You were average.
I was average. Yes, you're right.
You're so cruel, Jane McDonald.
I found it, I don't call it ice skating, I call it bum sliding. And you've always got a wet patch on your backside.
So
how can you look sexy? How can you look sexy and all that? You know, the worst thing you can do to look sexy in front of a bloke is fall on your backside.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, I don't know,
and
though.
I don't know.
Do the old girl.
You could always wear rubber pants.
unless you're holding his hand.
She does that now, anyway.
Oh, no,
She has to.
It's
all
a
the
different
time.
story now, isn't it? Yeah. And I found them really painful, and they were always
your rubber pants?
You know.
Terrible
They are now, they're chafing a bit now.
Oh,
In my rubber pants. No, but I just think they're uncomfortable. Ice skates, they're always somebody else's smelly feet that have been in them.
cheesy boots.
Oh, no. And you just can't skate in
no
stilettos. It just don't work, does it? No.
OK, it's time now. Our first guest is one of show business's most familiar faces, whose career began when she was just 6 years old. In more recent times, she starred in Chicago the Musical and skated her way to success in Dancing on Ice. Please welcome Bonnie Langford.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, please.
I've said that to you for years. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, so are you.
Your skating was brilliant, wasn't it?
Well, that was the tour. It's just come out on DVD. We did that in April and May of this year. We did 45 shows in 5 weeks.
Blimey.
Because
Hard
we
work.
did the first Dancing on Ice together. Obviously, I was out on the third week, and you came third, so we were slightly
You
different
see?
in terms of
And I
skill.
remember I was talking earlier to somebody about skating. One of the best tips that you had that somebody said to you, and I was there at the time, was breathe.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Because
you go, hold your breath, and you think, gosh, it's a minute and a half's gone, I haven't breath. And then the end of it
pass
comes and you
out.
go, oh. So I remember...
Is it easier for you though, because you're so small and light? I mean, to
What you
get
saying,
around
Carol?
Well, we're like quite big and quite heavy.
What are you saying, Carol?
We
No, not at all.
are.
It's actually not. I don't know. I mean, everyone used to say to me, oh, you're a dancer, you can do it. But it's totally different. As you know, well, I've trained all my life to stand on a stage, pull up, straighten up, and if you get nervous, you sort of go and don't breathe. And of course, if you do that on an ice rink, you fall flat on your nose, or on your bottom, or on your head. And so, which I did, yes, quite a few times. But I find it unbelievably challenging and also inspiring too. And it's a great sort of
And
fitness.
you've got
It's
so
fun.
good at it now. I mean, you carried
don't
on,
know
obviously,
that.
after the series finished, and obviously went on the tour and all
Yeah.
this sort of thing. And you skate now 3 times a week.
Well, a couple of times a week I go, yes. I think half of it is the fact that I think if I stop, I would never do it again.
Yeah.
And because it was such an extraordinary opportunity,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel a bit sorry for the people who are about to do the new series because so much is expected of them.
Yeah.
Because we know what to see.
At least with us, nobody
With
knew
us,
what was happening.
no.
Everyone thought we were brilliant just for
I
staying
mean,
upright.
I
for
didn't even
3
know I was
weeks.
doing it until 4 weeks before the first show
Yeah.
because I was the reserve. And so I hadn't really done anything. And if I'd known what little I knew, I probably would never have done it.
Did you never skate as a
No.
child? Did you never know?
No, I never did beat night.
Did you not?
You missed out.
You haven't lived, Bonnie.
Or she could go now and strut her stuff, couldn't
I
she?
could do beat night now, but I don't think the young boys would be too keen, do you?
Well, obviously,
I call them kamikaze skaters, actually, because they do, these boys, they go around going...
Oh,
this.
they do, yeah, drowning.
But it's great. And, I've got this complete ice skating family now
Yeah.
that I didn't have before. And also, if I had even wanted to ice skate, would I have put in a call to Jane Torville and Christopher Dean and said, can you teach me how to ice skate?
Yeah.
No. So it was such a brilliant opportunity.
And
that I've
obviously,
kept going.
it led to you being on stage in Chicago.
I know, how daft is that? I learned to ice skate in order to do Chicago. But what happened was I did the first series of Dancing on Ice, and then literally I came straight out of that and went into rehearsals for the show. And now it's coming up to the 10th anniversary of Chicago itself, which is extraordinary in this day and age for a show to be running that long, an American musical. So they're having this big sort of gala on the 5th, which is Wednesday week, I think. And lots of us oldies are going back and sort of doing a little bit. I don't know how it's going to
stars
work.
who've been in Chicago.
I don't think it's all, but I think, as many as they can, playing all the different roles. Because the nice thing about Chicago is there's always somebody new in it.
Yeah.
There's always somebody different playing all those different roles. And it's going to be extraordinary getting all those people together. Because some are quite sort of different. It's not always been the same person.
But with the ice skating, didn't that bring you out of a kind of... I mean, you weren't in hiding. Obviously, you're working all the time. You're really busy. But a lot of people do still think of you
Well-
as a child star. And we were talking about child stars
Yes, I
earlier.
know you were. And I was intrigued because I actually agree with all of you in different measures. Because I suppose I was a child star, but I never thought of it that way. And I think television, when I was little, was a lot less powerful. Oh, look, there she is. Oh, dear. That was here. I did that photograph here. It was an Easter shot for a television